Hi everybody, good morning. It's Friday morning. I think we're now in the end of the second week of the lockdown. I think I'm maybe my third week because I was at home the week before this all sort of blew up. I was calling this Freaky Friday, and you might think, oh, what freaky? But I was thinking in terms of it's maybe strange or it's odd because it is different times. But although I want to focus on the positive, I think we must take time to think about the people who they've lost loved ones and they haven't been able to say goodbye in person to them. That must be really heartbreaking, having lost a loved one myself, and there'll be many people in the same situation. Mine was my son, and I can't believe what I would have been like if I couldn't have actually sort of said my goodbyes and had the celebration, we called it the celebration of his life. And I was just thinking of locally here, well in Ayrshire, everybody will have seen it, that there was a girl who was killed while serving her country. Now her service, celebrating her life, couldn't take place. I know that this will happen later on, like I'm certain it will, and it should, but there's nothing like the very present that this could take place now. Anyway, my heart goes out to all of these people. It's heartbreaking, and just I cannot comprehend it myself. So, but on to slightly more positive things. I could have called it maybe Fear Friday. Now, I think the point I'm making there is that we have to stop being frightened. There's enough fear around, and again I stress, just look at maybe one source of information on what's going on in a daily. Don't get caught up in every single news bulletin and breaking news. We just get anxious and worried about it. Now, I was saying I was going to dress up, and I have. Oh, I put on a suit and I'm dressed, even makeup. Might not see the difference, but I put makeup on today and some lippy. So hope you are seeing the difference, because dress up day, usually when we're all working, lots of offices would do a dress down day. So when we're all stuck at home, we're having a dress up day. Now, I was thinking about the advice that lots of people have been given, and it's very good advice, but really every situation will be different. I was thinking about, tips for effective working at home. Now, it's as if someone maybe who's got no children or has got older children writes these things, because effective working at home should be make a schedule, stick to it, get up at the same time, organise everything. You should still have your alarm on, get up, all these things are excellent. I think it is good to get up. Don't just sit around in your pyjamas or your PJs all day. But some of these things are just, they wouldn't work for some people. So don't get stressed about that when you're having a whole lot of information, this information overload about what you should be doing. Don't get stressed out about it. What works for someone else might not work for you. The main thing, of course, is no matter what you're doing, I think you should take breaks. I think you have to have breaks, and sort of your lunch, maybe try and have a walk. Whether that's going to be restricted in the future, I don't know. But just now, we are allowed out, social distancing, but just keep getting out in the fresh air. If you're in the 15-storey flat, perhaps open a window and try and breathe in the fresh air. Pollution seems to have gone down, so we've got more fresh air now. But everybody's situation is different, so one size doesn't fit all. Now, technology is fabulous. I think technology is something that is allowing our children and us and me just now to contact you through live videos. Whether you want to or not, I'm here. You could switch me off, of course. But the technology I have found, because everybody is on the internet, and it seems to be almost like overloading it, the internet can slow down. So that if you are working on something, I would suggest that you definitely try to keep it offline so that you save it and you're able still to connect. Some companies have what I think there's video contacts through an offline source. Whether that still works, I don't know. Create a comfortable space wherever you're working. And of course, that's I think the biggest key to working at home. Now, some organisations, sad to say, are not allowing their workers, their employees working from home, to actually work maybe in the evenings when the children have gone to bed if they've got the young children. Now, that's quite sad. If you're all stuck in the house, it is it's almost impossible to work a kind of 9 to 5 job in the normal way. What are you going to do? I've seen some funny posts on Facebook and on some of the Twitter feeds of jokingly strapping up their children, taping their lips, so that they're tied down while you do some work. These are just jokes. This is do not do this at home. But it is interesting that that's how you might want to do, because you're not getting peace at home. But again, you don't want the children to look back on these times and go, oh, I was just stuck in. All I was doing was homework, was sitting in front of the screen. You want them to think about the time when maybe their parents were at home and we had good fun. So many things can be done. Now, fear is a terrible thing. People are frightened. I'm fortunately a glass half full. In fact, I'm the glass full kind of person. So I'm a very positive thinker. And even in times like this, I can get very negative and get a bit worried. So I did a meditation yesterday, my Mind Bites meditation on where you put a negative thought or a negative person. There'll be many around. I've got an itchy nose again. It must be, I had that yesterday, so it must be anger coming up somewhere. You put it in a balloon. Today I thought I'll finish with a meditation later on. I call it my floating feather. Now, lots of meditations are voice only. I decided to do videos because they're short, but I think it gets you into the mode of just looking at something. And if you practice it, you can then close your eyes and do it without looking at them. I've also been asked, I think somebody wanted the red door, blue door one, so I will do that as well. And we'll see if that can help in emotional times. I do have a meditation called Letting Go of Emotional Pain, but I think the red door, blue door is a kind of immediate thing. Now, if I just take a wee minute to talk about that. Red door, blue door, why that? I learnt this while I was studying at Glasgow University. I was looking at how we use our senses, and I realised that when emotions rise, which is a good thing, we all want to cry. Now that's fine, and I think crying is good, sobbing is good. And in fact, just let it out. But there are times where crying and sobbing is just maybe not appropriate. So if you're in public or you're maybe about to do a speech I managed to do the talk at my son's, the celebration of his life, and I used this technique. And I've asked quite a few celebrants and priests and ministers about how they cope with it. And they all have a technique. And what it does is the technique uses your cognition, your brain, to think of something cognitive. If you're thinking with your brain, you're not actually able really to use your emotion. Now that means like, when you're problem solving, you're getting so involved in something, you're using your brain in order to solve these things. That's far too difficult if you're in the throes of about to cry and start sobbing and you want to stop it. So my quick technique was this red door, blue door. Because I think the colours were important to me because I love colours. So I would immediately think in my mind of red and blue. So I just thought of red door, blue door. It's a bit like the red lorry, yellow lorry. See that often. I think it's becomes quite difficult. So the red door, blue door. So what I want you to do is, if you think of a time when you get over emotional, and when we hear the news just now, I can get emotional and you feel the tears rising. Try this. Instead of doing anything else, just you can say it out loud if you're alone, but I do it in my head. Just say to yourself, red door, blue door, red door, blue door, red door, blue door. Now by that you're actually using your cognition, you're not using your emotion. And it seems that, I'm not certain of there is research on it, I'm not certain of the actual source of this, but it works for me, and I'm a great believer. If something works for you, then use it. And as I was going into my son's funeral, it was his sister, my daughter, said to me, just whispered, she said, red door, blue door. And it was a reminder I'd nearly forgotten about. So while I was, you can actually almost say it in your head as you're speaking. Sounds a bit crazy, but try it, because your tears will stop. That, along with, there's a breathing exercise which I taught someone he was actually a public figure, but a very, very kind man. Very difficult to actually go on television to inform the public really about some of the changes in his company, and it was the loss of some of the staff who were having to go and be moved, which is of course happening all over now. But when I spoke to him, he said, I'm never going to get through this without crying. I said, yes you are. So in addition to the red door blue door technique, I said to him, just take a breath. And it's the opposite of what we imagine. When I'm saying do your deep breathing, you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is slightly different. Just before you start, you take a breath in through your mouth and down through your nose. So it's like, now you do it quieter than that. I'm just forcing what it happens. So it's like, and if you do that, it can help you focus. And again, I've got some breathing exercises I will be doing in my meditations, but that's a very quick one. So if you're, I don't know, if you're doing something that needs you not to cry, not to be emotional, just quietly go. And I've been doing it just now actually, and you wouldn't even notice it. But practice it sort of out loud. So you're forcing the air out of your nose. And you can do that 2 or 3 times. So when the time comes and you want to be calm, then you just do that carefully. And I can actually just, if there's a pause, then I'm actually doing it just now. So you can do it really quietly. And in my head, I'm saying to myself, red door, blue door. Because, and I've been doing, don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes when I'm talking about some of the negative things that have been happening and the deaths, and there's just so many heartbreaking things, I can get emotional. And why am I stopping? Because I could easily cry, start sobbing. I'm using that red door, blue door. I hope you try it. Please tell me if it works for you. If it's not for you, it could be a red tie, blue tie. I just found something simple. I spoke to one celebrant and I said, how do you cope when you're doing, she's a lovely person and able to stay very focused and calm. And her technique was, she looks around the room and wonders perhaps what the person, one of the people or any of them, maybe they've got a tattoo, I wonder what it is. It's interesting with all of techniques, but she's using her brain, stopping the emotions, the crying to come out. So it's really interesting. I find all these wee techniques. You might find your own, which is great. So what I thought we'd do is, because everybody seems to be, well, not everybody, but lots of people are very, particularly the glass half full, the glass empty, they're needing to change their mindset and find new talents. And I see I've got a few people coming on here. Thanks very much for watching. But there's maybe shouldn't be promoting people, but I can't help it. But Gillian Park and other artists too, there's a Jean Haynes, there's others offering their online tutorials for painting, pastels, oils, anything. Absolutely fabulous. And that's using your creative mind. I mean, I think I remember when I first started with Gillian, I'm not an artist, not a painter, and so many at the workshops say, I couldn't do this, I'm not a painter, I'm not a drawer, I can't draw these things. And she would immediately say, just try it, you know. And within, we'd go away within one workshop with a completed picture. Maybe not, we were happy with it, maybe it needed a lot of other work on it, but absolutely fabulous. I can't believe that they brought out these talents in me. Sadly, I haven't really had much time just now, but I do say to people, try doing something different. Find a new talent. So maybe find Friday, this is it. Think of all the possible words that this could be for this Friday. It's fab. We're free. Although we're stuck in the house, you're not a prisoner anywhere. So feel free. It's fresh. Forgive people. It's a friendly day. It's a fantastic day. Fulfill something. Do something that you really want to do. I'm almost getting carried away myself on this now. But what about us doing this meditation? I think I call it my floating feather. And what I'd like you to do is really this helps bring a sense of calm, and it helps you to be aware. So I would like you, if you can all go with me, and you can maybe play this back afterwards. I do have a meditation on this, but I'm just going to do it with you now. So I want you to close your eyes, and I would like you to take your deep breathing. Remember, you're breathing in through your nose, hold, and then out through your mouth. And remember, it's from the diaphragm, not lifting the shoulders. So it's a deep breathing exercise which calms. So if you do that 3 times, we'll just do it again together. Close your eyes, breathe in through your nose, hold, and then out through your mouth. And it's roughly to the count of 1, 2, 3. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine. I'm starting to get emotional, so I'm doing my red door, blue door, because these meditations really hit home with me. And Eddie's not here, unfortunately, to say, smile, keep smiling as you're talking. So close your eyes, another deep breath in and out through the mouth. Now imagine a soft white feather. It's slowly floating down. You watch this fluffy feather. It's delicate. Oh, I came off there. Sorry, somebody was coming on with a message. Right, I'll just start again just at the feather bit. You're watching a feather floating down. It's fluffy, it's delicate, and it's fine. You feel a sense of lightness. Your mind is calm. Your body is calm. Imagine how delicate and fine this soft feather is. You feel more aware. You feel as if you could almost touch this feather. It's so light. Take another deep breath in and then out. Do this again. Breathe in, and as you breathe in, let a sense of calm wash over you. You're more aware now of everything around you. You feel a sense of calm. I hope that brings a sense of calm to you. We don't know how many more weeks we have in lockdown, but I prefer if people enjoyed their time. And any time you feel anxious or worried, my short mind bites, these short meditations can help you. They help me get through lots of challenges in life. And I'm not going to be doing any videos over Saturday and Sunday. I think you have enough of me over Monday to Friday. But I'll be back on Monday. Now, I don't know what I'm going to call it. Could it be Manic Monday? We've maybe had, our weekends are morphing into everything. Usually you're desperate to get home. You've got a weekend. You've got things planned. Now, every day is almost like a weekend. Well, not really. It's maybe every day is like a work day. So you'll be trying to catch up on things on a Saturday and Sunday. But enjoy, try and enjoy, be thankful for everything you have, and always remember, laughter is the best medicine. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll come back to you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.